Alright traders, let's try this again. Third time I've tried to make the video tonight. This is BA here with your nightly TTB video. Getting a late start tonight, but this is November 26, 2018. Let's get right to it. Alright guys, just to remind everybody, I'm playing for a rally into January and February, so I'm just waiting for this market environment to change a little bit. So that I can start putting some more trades on, short-term and maybe some longer-term stuff. So what I'm waiting for to put longer-term trades on is for the S&P to get down here and probe below this low into this rectangular box I've got drawn. If it gets down that low right there, then I'll start putting on more positions out, further out. If it doesn't get down there and we cross some key levels, then I'll start playing to the upside, more short-term option trades. It's the game. It's the only way I know how to play it, folks. It gets the areas, which creates scenarios for me, and I structure trades based off of those scenarios. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. All right, last night I put on a Treasury bond trade betting on lower Treasury bond prices. Let's pull that up and I'll show that to you. So the /ZBs are 30-year Treasury bond futures. My bet is we've had a 36 up to 40. Yeah, we've had a 4-point rally in bond prices. This is the futures markets, 30-year Treasury bond futures. My bet is that we're going down. Now, I'm betting against this pattern. My short-term bottom and top picker says we should be seeing some downward pressure here. However, I'm betting against the trend. We have FOMC is coming out Wednesday with interest rate decision. They're supposed to hike. If they hike, interest rates, Treasury bond prices should go down, and interest rates will go higher. So that's the trade here. That's what I'm looking for. I may add more to this trade Wednesday going into the announcement based on how Treasury bond prices are acting. So that's kind of what I'm doing. It's back above the VWAP right now on the 15-minute chart. It's kind of what I want, because the next trip back down below this VWAP right here is when I'll put on my other trades. So what I did was I bought. Let's go to the Analyze tab. I bought the 138 puts in January and sold 137s. Just did it one time in this account. I'll put on, this is a QF1M trade. So I've got it on in several other accounts, larger size. But this is what it looks like. So guys, the bond futures are quoted really differently than stock or futures prices. So they're priced off of 30-second movements. I'm not going to get into the calculations here. Just tell you that this area right here is the most I can lose is $234 per one lot trade that I put on. The most I can make is $768. All right, so there's a $1,000 spread between 137 and 138, and that's the spread I'm playing right here. So that's why the way I've got it structured is most I can lose 234, most I can make is 768. Not a bad deal. So I think I'll take those trades all the time when we get the right setup. And guys, I got to tell you, I've told this to people that have been following me for years. We called the bottom in the interest rates the week that it happened. And what I told everybody at that time was for the next 30 some years, the trade to make is going to be anytime the bonds rally up 10 points in bond prices, don't even think about it. No other form of analysis. Structure a trade where you're betting on lower Treasury bond prices. You keep making that trade for the next 30 some years, and it's all you need to do to really add to your bottom line. So interest rates are going up next 30 years. I mean, not in a straight line, but they're going higher. So that's just the way that game is played, and that's how this trade is structured right here. All right, so let's go back to the charts. All right, so hey guys, we have the stocks that are trending today in the normal stocks I watch, the active list. We've got AAL, AMT, Autodesk, Bud, DWDP, McDonald's, Tesla, UPS, WB, and URI. I'm just going to show you a couple of these. Just to add these to your watch list for tomorrow. For the focus list, there's really a good reason why I have Apple on the focus list. So what I've done is I pulled some of the stocks out of this uptrending list and put them down here in the focus list. So if you just wanted to focus on a handful of stocks, just stay in this focus list area for Tuesday. Or if you want to play lower price stocks, these beta beaters down here on the watch list, these are the stocks that move many times greater than the S&P 500, and they closed today above both VWAPs. Guys, you can't go wrong if you're buying the entry technique number 2 and where price is above both VWAPs, above this area right here. You can't go wrong like that. And the reason I say you can't go wrong, you'll have losing trades, but if the price fails and goes back down and closes below the lower VWAP, then just get out of the trade. Market's not right. You take all those little losers like that, the small little chip shots, losses, and conserve your capital, because when this market turns and starts running, you're going to multiply money very, very quickly. We're trying to probe to get to that market environment, but boy, it is not participating at all. It's one of the worst moving markets I have ever seen. So anyway, this is focus list. I'm going to cover a couple of those. Let's take a look at Apple. All right, there's a couple of reasons I like Apple. Let's take a look. Look at this formation right here on the daily. Number one, we've got all of our little yellow rectangles saying Apple could be at a very, very important low right now. Look at the action on the 15-minute chart. This thing opened up here. They burned it down to the downside, took it down below this low right here, and then just ripped it right back up. One of the oldest tricks in the book. You guys hear me talk about that all the time, about how they and them take a market down below the most recent low, get everybody snookered in to getting short again, and then they rip it right to the upside. And look, they never even stopped on this one. This is a classic example of how they like to play it. They like to get you down there and just whip you to death, and then they'll rip it right up to the upside. It closed at the high move from this low to this high. It closed on the high right there. What that created was what we call a bullish hammer. So this is what that looks like right there. So above this high tomorrow, and Apple could be trading in a market, in a world unto itself. It's like, sometimes Apple's like Tesla. It doesn't matter what the market's doing, Apple does what it needs to do. So I like the bullish hammer. I like that setup above 175.07, above both VWAPs. Take the trade. Don't be afraid of it. Exit if it closes back down below both VWAPs. Now you can see there's only one VWAP showing there, but I'm going to highlight that. If you can see the color change, what that indicates is that Monday's VWAP is the short term, the daily and the weekly is all one reading right there. So tomorrow it'll probably separate a little bit. I won't go into the reason for that. Just understand that on Mondays the VWAP reading is typically one line. Tuesdays it'll start to separate. All right, so that's Apple. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA looks like it wants to run here, guys. It's in a position, if the market turns, this thing has got plenty of room. At least it could run up to the bottom of this moving average here. So that's another $15 higher right there. That even in a lousy bear market, this thing can rally up to that point right there and still roll back over to the downside. This was a really strong move today. You can see here they tried to take it down. Look at where it bounced every time off of my little adaptive line here. Pushed it back above the VWAP and just continued to rip it. Pay attention to NVIDIA, a trade above. Let's take a look at it right here. Trade above 159.05, and I'd say you're clear to take a trade there in NVIDIA. All right, let's look at Netflix. I really think Netflix is coiling. Hey, let me go back to NVIDIA. I think that was a narrow range 7-day too. Yep, NR7. So guys, look, NR 7 days. You know what? We like NR 7 days because they're coiled, tightly compressed, and they're going to move one way or the other. In this market, I think they're going to move higher. We'll see tomorrow. But anyway, that's going for NVIDIA tomorrow as well. All right, now let's move back to Netflix. Okay, Netflix is on a bottom, on a low. This is not a trend trade. It's purely an extension, and we're looking for a move higher. So right now we're poised for a large snapback. You can see going through the numbers here. So the daily chart set for a large snapback. We have short-term bottom pickers saying, hey, you've probably seen the low right here, so get ready for an up move. All right, going to the hourly charts, you can see that the thing has just been constantly trading 2 standard deviations below the 50-period moving average, which is what we want to see. Now it's starting to move higher. We get a crossover here, indicating a potential bullish move. It's still hugging this dynamic support resistance line. Needs to break above that. We're already above it on the onset trend indicator. That's telling you, hey, this thing it's raring to move right now. We're above the VWAPs here, but we're still red. Guys, a move here on a move above 268.31 in Netflix, and I'll be interested in that trade no matter what's going on in the market. So Netflix, Apple, 2 stocks that, like Tesla, tend to move on their own without anything. Sometimes they're hitched to the market, but sometimes these things are they just strap the market on their back and carry them wherever they want to go. So let's just be cognizant of that fact that we got 3 very, very unique stocks that can carry the market on their own in a position where they can rally big. So that's really good. All right, so you guys know I like DWDP. You know what I've been saying, it's going to rally. It's uptrending right now. We had the rally today. You know, if you wanted to play NWDP, just above these highs right here, guys. You know, above 58.02. I'm not going to set an alert on it, but above 58.02 if you want to play DWDP. ATVI, another one I think we called out the other day. This one's looking pretty good too. You can see it's a cluster of yellow triangles here saying that we could be at a potentially significant low. We're on the 1-hour chart, we're bullish, we're green. We're coming out of the 2 standard deviation area into bullish territory. We're already above the 0 line in the onset. We're above both VWAPs. If you wanted to play Activision, just again go above these swing highs and put you an alert in 51.54, and that's a good trade. Be a good entry point. I mean, honestly, guys, any of these tomorrow that like this that are above both VWAPs, whenever you go in, if you wanted to take the trade, you're clear to take the trade. Just exit if they close back below both VWAPs. Let's take a look at Roku. I own stock in this one and some call options. So this one's consolidating around a low. It's telling us back here it could be overextended. So it's just touched below the 2 standard deviation area. That's what we like. We've got a bullish crossover, turned green, and we're above 0 on the onset trend indicator, giving us green light to go. We're above the VWAP. So again, if you wanted to enter into trade in Roku, you can go above these swing highs here, or just above the VWAP on the open. I'm just giving you plenty of options to play. I'm not trading all these. I'm really looking for a trade in Apple, Nvidia, or Netflix tomorrow. Those are my 3. Any one of those, if they fire to the upside, I'll take, no matter what the market is doing. These other stocks, they tend to trade with the market, so I'll probably lay off of those. Labu, the market gets rolling, guys. This is another one that will absolutely move to the upside quickly. So it's a really nice pattern right here. So above 49.34 is probably a good entry on Labu, but it's already above both VWAPs. Bud just continues to creep. It's a creeper, but it's going in the right direction. The trend is up on it. It's a consolidated pattern here. There's no doubt in my mind Bud is going to close that gap right there. Bud is a very gappy stock as well, so just be prepared. If you take a trade in Bud, give yourself some duration. Buy 30 to 45 day call options on Bud. Just give yourself some time. And yeah, you could enter Bud anytime you wanted to, honestly, in this area right here. So no issue there. URI looks really good, guys. This one just looks super good. I mean, it is. The other models I've looked at really put this thing in highlights. So had a really nice up move today. It's above both VWAPs. So we're coming off of a double bottom. A huge extension down. We've got all the triangles back here saying this was potentially a significant low. They could not take it out. They couldn't drive the price down and take out these lows. Instead, it's rallied a little bit. We've got a cyan color trend change here on the moving average. And we had a nice rip today in URI. This thing can move as well. I mean, look how much ground this thing could cover. I mean, even back up here to 135, you've got a home run trade. This thing goes further. We keep playing this one until the cows come home. I'm talking, what we're trying to get into, guys, is once the market gets underway and these stocks that have just been clobbered, I mean, we're going to have 6 to 9 months, I think, of trading to the upside on these things. And what could just be one of the best, well, it could be exactly how I've pictured this since 2013, just one of the best trading markets to the upside that we've ever seen. I hope that's really how it plays out. We're certainly getting the setup that we need for the script to unfold like that. So, I mean, this is really a gift from God right here, based on how we're posturing ourselves. As long as politicians get out of the way, keep their mouths shut, fix the problem, or either leave it alone and let the markets fix it, will be good. So I know you guys are tired of hearing me say that, but I'm tired of all the politicians tinkering in the capital markets. So, all right. Hey, listen, I don't have anything else for you in tonight's video. So I hope you guys have a nice trading day tomorrow. Let's hope the rally continues. You know what I'm looking for. I'm going to play either Apple, Nvidia, or Netflix. If the stock market, S&Ps, goes above that 20, let's see, what was that, 73 level? 2673. Yeah, 2670. We go above 2670, and all of the stocks are in play at that point. So below this level right here and to the downside, and only those stocks that move on their own, I feel comfortable trading to the upside. If we roll back over, get down into here, I'll put more longer term positions on. So that's what I'm looking for. All right, guys, it's BA. Until tomorrow, signing out. See you on the flip side.